Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be discussing humidity and its benefits towards our parrots. It's funny to think that humidity can have such a major positive impact on our parrots. However, it is true. I'm going to talk about why, how you should create humidity, how you should maintain it, and maybe some of the pitfalls of having too humid an environment if you live in certain parts of the world. I'm going to be doing a video on humidifiers, dehumidifiers and purifiers later down the line and talking about everything in one, but for now I just want to focus on humidity and its impact. When you think about the natural history of our parrots, many parrot species come from tropical or subtropical environments, so it's no surprise that they're used to a humid environment and that humidity is of benefit to them. But it's also of benefit to parrots who don't come from these environments as well, because even though they may be a cockatiel from Australia or a cockatoo from Australia, because that's probably where most of those parrots come from, they still have the same sort of respiratory system as their cousins from elsewhere in the world, and humidity still has a positive impact on their health. As you may have heard me talk about in previous videos, all parrots have a very sensitive respiratory system. It can be easily irritated, it is sensitive to various fumes and toxins in the environment. It is very well adapted to maximise how air moves around their body so they can fly and maintain flight. However, it does have its downsides. Where it is so hyper efficient, all sorts of things can affect it, and that includes a lack of humidity. If a parrot's respiratory system becomes too dry, it can become easily irritated, it can become more sensitive to various issues. So it's important that if your parrot is having issues, or just as regular good practice, to try and incorporate a bit of humidity into their environment just to help them. Because if you think about it, it's the same with us humans. Occasionally we'll benefit from a steam or a mist, especially if we're unwell. So again, as usual, why would that not apply to our parrots too? Humidity can also be of benefit to our parrot's skin as well, and their feathers. Again, when things get too dry, skin can become irritated and feather health can suffer. It's also just great if they are having problems with either. Say for example, they have a skin irritation, adding a bit of humidity into the environment can be of benefit to this and ease some of this irritation on the skin. As a general rule as well, the ideal humidity level for most parrots in the home is between 40 and 60%. Now this can vary quite wildly depending on where you are in the world. For example, if you live in a really hot climate, then you can up that a little bit. If you live in somewhere like the UK, you may want to have it a little bit lower and just have occasional boosts in summer. It's also really important to remember, if you live in somewhere like the UK, like we do, you're going to get plenty of humidity anyway, so you kind of want to focus those efforts in the summer and also not overuse certain products or techniques, because obviously you have mold issues and stuff like that, which can again be harmful to your parrot because they produce spores, which can be quite bad. So if you do live in somewhere like the UK, it's always very rainy, you may want to just focus any additional humidity efforts to one room such as the bathroom, or just introduce it during the hot summer months. One of the easiest ways of introducing humidity into the environment for your parrots is with a humidifier. Now, I was very kindly sent this humidifier from a company called Vintony, and it's very small, very compact, and it's not very expensive. So this is one I'm going to be featuring in this video. Thank you very much, Vintony, for sending this to me, because we actually needed one anyway. So a humidifier is very useful in that you can literally just put it in your bird room and you can just let it crack on for a while. Generally, you don't want to run it for more than 1 to 2 hours at a time, especially if you're in the UK, even in summer, because you know the usual issues. However, it's highly effective of introducing humidity into your parrot's environment, and because you can just have it in their room, you don't have to move them around or anything, and they can just enjoy it. One thing I want to make very clear as well though is get a humidifier, not a diffuser. You do not want an oil diffuser or anything like that. If you're going to be using a humidifier, it's just a humidifier with no extras, no oils, no drops, nothing. Just plain water, because that's what's going to benefit your parrot, not anything else. Now, most of these humidifier products are best used in the centre of the room, not directly near or under your parrot's cages for obvious reasons. So just have it, set it up, let it do its thing, and then turn it off after a while. A lot of them also come with nightlight features as well. So if you don't have a nightlight for your parrots, which can be quite useful, you can just not use the humidifier thing and just have the nightlight on. And this one's actually got quite a nice one, which I'll try and demo in a second for you. Also, bear in mind, just like with air purifiers or dehumidifiers or any other product, you need to make sure you change the filters regularly to keep that water nice and fresh and make sure nothing else goes into the environment that you do not want. Changing filters in any sort of product around birds is just highly recommended. If you're in the UK during the winter months, or you don't want to get a humidifier, or there's other sort of issues preventing you from just putting humidity into the parrot room or environment, you can just take your parrot into a steamy bathroom as well. I wouldn't say it's quite as useful as a humidifier because you have to move them. If you run a steamy shower for a while with no other products, nothing in your bathroom, make sure the door's shut, get it very steamy in there, then turn it off and then bring your parrot into that bathroom. They will get some of the benefits of that humidity in there as well. It won't be quite as effective, but it is something that is a very useful tool and something we do for our parrots once in a while for their general health as well. And again, if you're in the UK, you won't be able to use the humidifier during winter, especially in a flat, because yeah, it's the UK basically. So this is another sort of technique you can use to keep them nice and humid, if that's a way of saying it, without having to use it. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you have a humidifier or you live in a particularly extreme environment, maybe in a really hot place or a really humid place, how do you deal with these problems? What do you use? I'll be very interested to hear from you guys about that. But in the meantime, take care and have a really, really good day.